Hello class, it's Rosanna Getty here. I'm going to share with you a little bit today about becoming a vegetarian. I'd like to share with you some of the reasons why a vegetarian diet can benefit both your body and your health, as well as the environment and the world as a community. According to the American Dietetic Association, a well-balanced vegetarian diet can benefit any person at any stage of life. It is perfectly okay for a pregnant mother to live purely on a vegetarian diet with no meat, no fish, no poultry at all. Her baby can receive all of the nutrients that it needs as long as she balances her diet properly. Even elderly people, children, athletes, men and women alike can all receive what they need in a meatless diet. Some of the healthful effects of a vegetarian diet include lower cholesterol, lower blood pressure, lower rates of cancer, and a lower body mass index. These can have a number of effects on a person's health. They can lead to lower blood pressure, and lower cholesterol can lead to lower rates of heart disease. And it's been shown in the American Dietetic Association's research that vegetarians do indeed live longer lives than meat-consuming people. Some of the environmental effects that I was able to find in an article on Google Scholar that was written by two biology students named Gabe Bronk and Arthur Sue. Well, there are many environmental effects that they were able to explain. Factory farms, which are very large industrial-sized farms used for producing livestock for our meat consumption, have terrible effects on the communities that they are in, and they treat the animals inhumanely. In the factory farms, you'll find overcrowding and disease. The overcrowding makes it much easier for disease to spread from animal to animal, and therefore the animals are pumped up with antibiotics to treat them, but in the long run, when they become the meat product that we're consuming, we are actually consuming those antibiotics as well. Consuming antibiotics in small doses over a lifetime can cause antibiotic resistance. The buildup in your body makes it so that when you become sick and you need to take an antibiotic for your own health, it makes it so that your body does not respond to the antibiotic because you've gotten small doses over your entire life, and this can lead to you just being sick and not having a way to treat it, which is terrible. Also, in the factory farms, the quality of life for the animals is very poor and inhumane. They are too close to even move sometimes. They just don't have any sunshine. They don't have anywhere to roam like an animal naturally likes to do. Um, some other points on the environment. 70% of the grain grown in the United States right now is used to feed our livestock that we use for consumption. If that grain was used to feed hungry people, it would feed a lot more people than the meat that is able to be produced from that grain. It takes up to 10 pounds of grain to produce only 1 pound of meat. And so that just shows you, if we were just using the grain alone, we would be able to feed a lot more people. Also, one of the crises that we are facing in the world today, although we don't feel the effects of it just yet, is water shortage. There is a shortage of clean, safe drinking water in many parts of the world. We here in the United States are very lucky that we have aquifers right now that we are able to draw from, and we have clean, safe drinking water within our reach easily. Well, half of that water in the United States is used to support the livestock that we eat. If we continue to take water at this rate and waste it like we are to feed the animals that we eat, we are going to run out of water sometime in the next 100 years. Some of the aquifers in the United States will be tapped out. This would just be terrible. I mean, we're wasting it at such a rate that we could be saving it and all be leading healthier lives. Fossil fuels are another reason to become a vegetarian. We are already facing fossil fuel problems, and an average meat eater uses 8 times as much fossil fuel in 1 year as a person with a vegetarian diet. Fossil fuels used to run machinery on farms that grows the grain that feeds the livestock. Fossil fuels used to transport the grain to the farms and the meat to the stores. It's all a waste of our fossil fuels that, are in high demand and we have a shortage of. Another very important point about meat consumption is that they need area, lots of area, to raise these animals. This is leading to deforestation in many parts of the world. One of the biggest places that caught my eye in my research was the Amazon in South America. The Amazon jungle has an ecosystem like nowhere else in the world. The Amazon provides us with clean air because of the trees cleaning the carbon dioxide out of the air for us. If we deforest the Amazon too much, we will feel the effects throughout the world in our air quality. We also receive plants with medicinal purposes from the Amazon, and the beauty of having such a wonderful nature reserve. And if that's gone, there's no way to replace it. Some of the livestock farms also have harmful effects on the water around the farms, because the waste that the animals create seeps into the ground and into the water supplies, and there are terrible chemicals and fumes that come from that waste. Methane gas as well as ammonia can be released into the air and into the water. When it's released into the water, it can kill the fish in the area, and it can kill the plants in the water and completely change the ecosystems of that water. According to the American Heart Association, there are many things that you can do to eat a proper, well-balanced diet when you're a vegetarian and get everything you need that you are missing out on from meat. Some of those things include zinc, vitamin B12, vitamin D, calcium, and protein. Some people will say it's really not good for you to become a vegetarian. It's not good for your body because you won't be able to get all of the nutrition that you need from purely vegetables and other non-meat products. But that's not true. You can live a healthy, well-balanced life and have plenty of energy as long as you find the right items, and they can be very delicious. You have to include a lot of legumes, fruits, lots of vegetables, grains. Soy is a great product. You can eat soy nuts, you can eat soybeans, you can have soy milk, you can have soy in so many different forms, and that gives you a lot of nutrition. Another thing that you can eat is tofu, and people don't get very excited about tofu, but it can be delicious. It soaks up the flavor of anything that you cook it with, and if you put it with spices and different vegetables and sauces, it can be just absolutely delicious. And it can make you feel full, and it can be nutritiously beneficial. Fatty acids are also something that you need to get, which you can get from different fruits and vegetables without consuming meat whatsoever. Some of my favorite vegetarian items include hummus. This is Tribe hummus. It is all natural, and there are many different flavors. You can put it on sandwiches, you can put it on crudité, you can put it on crackers, whatever you like. This is another of my favorite vegetarian foods. It's an avocado. You can get some of those healthy fats that you need, and it can be just delicious as well. So to cut meat out of your diet sounds like a difficult task after being raised on a diet with meat in it. But one thing that you can do is to slowly cut it out. Maybe cut out red meats at first, then maybe move on to chicken, and then maybe move on to fish from there. That's how I started. I just did it in doses. I still do eat fish and seafood at this point, which I hope not to in the future, but I'm just adjusting my body and my lifestyle to being a vegetarian. So it's important for me to feel full and satisfied and healthy and also not deprived. That's why I'm doing it in steps. Um, so I hope you've all learned a little bit about what makes a vegetarian diet much better for yourself, much better for the world. It only will help us live sustainably and healthily for the rest of our future. Thank you very much.